Hi, Christine from Unique Sapphire coming to you today. I know it's been a long time since I did a last video. I was really trying really hard, however, life got in the way. Now I've freed up a lot of time and I'm back, and it's going to be better than ever. And if you're like me in my stash closet here, you've got a ton of projects in bags sitting there waiting for you to figure out what to do with, or it's been on your needles, off your needles, on your needles, off the needles, because you don't like how the colors look or move. So I want it to be fun. I want it to also be informative for you and give you some tips, tricks, teach you how to dye, how yarn is dyed, because there's many ways, and there's also multiple ways that you can put those into combinations. So it's kind of hard for you that does not dye yarn, and you start a project and say, oh, I love it, and then you get to a point and you're either increasing or decreasing stitches and it's like, I don't like this, or it started off so well and now it's like not so much. So thank you for everyone who has subscribed in the past. I only had a few videos, so there's going to be a lot more, so please hang in there with me. We're in this for the long haul. But let me show you around. Things did change a little bit. My daughter came home and is now using the studio for her own space for a little while. My studio is in my home, and I'm grateful to have a large area. So my winding station has now moved out to the main room, along with all the doggy stuff. And speaking of doggies, here's my puppy. You want to say hi, Gus? You want to say hi? Yeah, Gus. He's normally over there on his bed in the corner. I've got yarn everywhere, as you can see, in baskets, on the mantle. I've got a project right near my chair that I'm working on. So, as you can tell, I have a lot of open space here. Sorry if it echoes. But this is where all my magic happens. In this little tiny room. Welcome to the kitchen slash dyeing area. And yes, I have 3 coffee pots. I run on coffee, a lot of coffee and tea. So with that being said, this is kind of like an intro to what you're going to be seeing in my videos, my space. Like I said, forgive me if it echoes in here. I might have to try some different mic setups. Some days are going to be brighter. I chose this house because I like being outdoors, and there's so many windows here. It is awesome. And I have awesome view. So what's not to love? And I'm like really close to everything. So it's awesome. Gus, you want to say hi now? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Here we go. So what's in it for you if you keep on watching what is going on here? It's pretty exciting because not only do I have a commercial yarn stash and also my own personal hand-dyed stash, we're going to go through a lot, slowly, little by little, just to give you a greater sense of what you're doing with your yarn. Because the greatest question I always get asked when I go to a show is, how is that going to knit up? Even if I make a swatch, I keep telling everyone that it's going to change depending on your project, the size of your project, how many skeins you're going to be using, every hand dyed, because dye is wet, it will be off a little or change a little because I can't stop the dye. No one can stop the dye. And just like one of my last videos about showing a commercial, how it ran into another color and kind of muddled it out, you're going to come across that, and no matter what. So don't be afraid to get your hands wet. So not only am I going to teach you the different ways to dye, you'll get behind the scenes with me while I'm dyeing, and I can show you a little bit more of that process in a few more videos from here. But at first, let's take a look at this. So as you can see on the table here, I have some of my commercial stash. And you'll remember these, they were flipping around with a little sheep the last time. I still have these. This is the one that kind of got muddled. Here's another one that's dyed completely different than this one. This one's dyed differently as well. And in case you didn't know, this is a Zobber ball. So have you ever wanted to know how many yards per color change in a Zobber ball? That's why I bought it, just because I'm geeky like that. And I just love knowledge. And that's why I'm going to pass it on to you. And here are some of my hand dyes. You'll find them in the store online. And that's one way to support me at the moment. This one is dyed differently than that one. This one, of course, is dyed differently, as well as that one. And as you can tell, most of the time when I do my hand dyes, I do not reskein them up. So it kind of gives you a better sense of how they're going to work out and how many different color changes you're going to have. Well, this one's more variegated. This one, you know, is variegated in a sense, but depending on how many stitches or what you're doing with it, or if it's going to be knitting around, this will be different. This one moves fast. Now, if you go to my website, I do have some patterns that I used Endagered with, even though it's a longer colorway that it will pull, and if you're not into pulling, there's a shawl that did pull, which was fun to do. And there's a cow that I used another plain color just to kind of help move the colors and try to change it up so it didn't pull so much. So yes, we're going to be following along. We're going to be knitting with some of this or crocheting. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one or this, other stuff, but I'm going to decipher the Zobber ball. That is a must-do on my list to see how many yards per color change and if they're consistent. That is what I want to know. And trial and error. Until next time.